Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, I'm Mand. So I think this is like my fifth time trying to get my introduction. So Mini Mike is just gonna chill out here. I'm trying to not move it too much because they're static. But anyway, so if you're new here, hi, I'm Mand. A lot of you might know my hands. I'll only show this one. I'm afraid to move this one. It's Mini Mike. And I am going to partake in the reintroduction or reintroducing yourself tag by the wonderful Sarah over at, excuse me, Coyote Tarot. I'll make sure to link Sarah's channel below. Go check out her video. And these are great to know the face, the creator behind the channels that you love watching. So even if you don't do tarot tube or anything along those lines, it's still great to know, especially when it's like face down, that it's nice to see a face. And I agree with Sarah on her video that sometimes you might find it a little bit difficult to come on camera and chat because you kind of feel like you have to be a little bit made up. Whereas at least if it's face down, so it's much easier. But anyway, without further ado, go grab a snack, grab a drink, get comfy cozy, and I will reintroduce myself to any new subscribers out there. Okay, so we have 4 prompts. We have the basics, decks, your practice, and YouTube and TarotTube. And yes, I have the prompts here on my tablet in front of me because I won't remember them all. But the basics, they're so fun. Anyway, all the questions are super fun. So where are you from is the first one. And I don't know how many of you will guess this, sorry. But I'm actually from Ireland. I'm from the southwest. And I have noticed I do talk a little bit different, especially when I'm on camera, because I want everybody to be able to understand me. So if you know the Irish, we tend to talk very, very fast. And sometimes we, like most countries, you have your own lingo and slang words and things like that. So, or we shorten words and things. So I like to make sure that I talk very clear and don't mumble or stumble over words or anything like that, so that majority can understand me for the most part. But I do know that I talk probably a little bit different on camera than if you were to meet me in person. I probably talk a lot faster. I need to take a sip of coffee. So what's the second one? So how did you come up with your TarotTube name or your YouTube name? Sorry, not just TarotTube. And I'm trying to think, how did I come up with my YouTube name? So my YouTube name is Mystic Mand. As most of you probably guessed, that isn't actually Mystic, isn't my first name. It's Amanda. I went with Mand because that's what everybody close to me calls me. Mandy or Mand, either or. I'll answer to any of them. But the mystic part was more along the lines of just being into spirituality. I know it's all about like finding enlightenment and things like that. And I don't feel like that's what I'm looking for, because I feel like once you reach enlightenment, isn't that kind of, that's it. But I really feel like it's a curiosity into spirituality, the esoteric, all the woo-woo things, and so much deeper. So for me, it's also about diving deeper. And I just like the sound of Mystic Mand. It just works, seems more me. And the reason I picked Mand and not just Mystic Amanda was because, one, Mystic Mand just sounds better. And two, because I want to create a community here of friends. And so I wanted everybody to call me what those close to me call me, which is Mand. And so it's kind of really along the lines of that deeper connection. So that's why I went with that one. Question 3 is, how long have you been reading tarot? A good couple of years now. I suppose I started when I was in my early 20s. So I'm in my early 30s now. So I suppose over 10 years, but that was learning by myself. I didn't do a course until a year ago, I took a course. For the most part, I've been self-taught up until then. That's on tarot. And how did you get into reading tarot and oracle? So I've touched upon this before, I need to adjust this. I hope it doesn't. How did I get into reading tarot and oracle? I'm trying to think. It's such a long time ago. I suppose it would have been through angel cards. I would have gotten into it first. And I've always had a curiosity for spirituality and card readings and crystals and just all that kind of woo-woo stuff. Not that I particularly like that term, but you know what I mean. I've always had an interest, even as a kid. Like I've always been interested in paranormal stuff. So yeah, I suppose it's a long time. But how did I get into reading cards? It would be along the lines of definitely angel cards. I think Doreen Virtue was massive at the time. So it's probably through angel cards. I think I went for an angel reading myself in my early 20s, and I really wanted to be able to read the cards myself. So I was actually gifted a deck by my mom, and then I started collecting the Mind, Body, Spirit magazines. I don't know, does anybody know those or do you remember those? But anyway, yeah, I collected those. And then I just started playing around with decks, and then I got into Tarot Tube, and I fell down a whole rabbit hole there. And so it just spiraled off from there. Do you read for others? Yeah, I do. So for anyone who wants to get a reading, you are so more than welcome. But yeah, I do read for others. I don't just read for myself. So I like that I can read for others and myself. So that's always a nice way, because I know some people are either one or the other. So I'm glad. Sometimes it's hard to stay impartial when you read for yourself. I'm not going to lie. We're all guilty of, like, you know, the tower card, deck card. Shove that back into the deck. I'm not dealing with that today. Not today. But yeah, I do read for others. Okay, so let's get into the deck portion, or decks. Do you use Oracle with Tarot? Yes, I do. I do a daily card draw, and I draw an Oracle and a Tarot. And I also do a combination of Tarot and Oracle readings for others. I include Oracle with my Tarot readings, so because I feel like because I started with Oracle, I tend to lean more towards that and then add in Tarot. I know a lot of people use Tarot as the focal point and then Oracle. Now that's how I read it now, but it would have been at the start working with Oracle and then including Tarot. I probably did it very backwards, but I'm not surprised. How many decks do you have? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It must be up over 100 now. Not that it should matter. Not that it's a competition or anything like that, or boasting. It is what my channel is about, so hence why I would have a lot of decks. But I also like the artwork. I like collecting them. And yeah, so I'm not going to make any apologies. I have a lot of decks, but it must be over the 100 now. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I don't count because I'll start feeling bad, and I don't think you should feel bad if you collect decks. Where do you store your decks? So we have some behind me here. Sorry about the loud noise. Some decks here. And I also have a Calyx unit outside my office here. I'm fortunate enough that I have the space to store all of this, all the decks. I'm not sure if I didn't have this. I'd probably still find the space. I would find the space, but that is where I store my decks, in a Calyx unit and here in a bookcase. So how would you describe your deck collection? An eclectic mix of chaos. Kind of like myself, to be honest. Yeah, I wouldn't say I had like one particular style of decks. I definitely like the more digital art curated ones, or collage style or vintage style decks. But for the most part, I have a wide variety. So yeah, I don't think I have a particular description on my decks. I would just say an eclectic mix of chaos. Do you have a go-to tarot and oracle deck? Yeah, my go-to tarot would be the Green Witch tarot. I actually have it here. Of course I do. If you don't know it at this stage, my gosh, you haven't been around very long. The Green Witch tarot, that's my go-to. And as for oracle, I suppose at the moment it would be the Circe. the Circe Oracle. They would be my not together, but yeah, they would be my kind of go-to decks. Do you rehome decks? And if so, what determines if it leaves your collection? No, I've never rehomed a deck. I haven't given away any decks. Any deck that is in my collection, I have had from the get-go. So maybe some of you might be surprised at that. No, I have never sold. Have I thought about it? Yes. Have I seen a lot of people repurchase decks that they sold? Yes. Did I learn from them? Yes, I did. So no, I don't rehome a deck unless I'm like 2000% sure that I want that deck gone. But for the most part, because I have the space to store it, I don't mind storing them. So I haven't rehomed a deck. But if it was, I suppose if I was to rehome a deck, it would be because it's not really working or it's not one I reach for. But then in saying that, I have quite a few decks that I really love, but I don't reach for them. So yeah, you could kind of say, no, I wouldn't rehome them. Not yet, anyway. Okay, so we're on to the practice side, so my practice. And what does your tarot practice look like? Daily, location, tools you use. When do you turn to the cards for answers? I'm stumbling over my words today. Is that anything new? Probably not. What does my tarot practice look like? At the moment, currently, it is, again, chaos at its finest. I really feel like that should be my catchphrase, like chaos at its finest. You have been warned. At the moment, my tarot practice is literally my journal, some stickers and washi tape just to zhuzh it up a bit, and a tarot and an oracle deck that I've been working with. That would be my tarot practice currently at this moment in time, because life is mental busy and I like to adapt and adjust my practice as I see fit. It is my practice and I adjust it as I need to for when I need to. But normally what my practice would look like, I would meditate and then I would draw my cards. It's a lot slower. At the moment, it's definitely far more chaotic. I'm not going to lie. It's me just drawing a card, jotting down the message and making sure that I have that message in the back of my mind, right? Whereas before, my practice was definitely much slower, but because life is not slow at the moment, and I try to allow myself moments of downtime, slowing down, and my tarot practice helps me bring myself back. I kind of like a bit more quick, snappy messages. So yeah, that's kind of what my practice looks like at the moment. I like to incorporate crystals. If you don't know, I have a lot of crystals. There's some here, I have some here, I have some over there, over there, over there. There's crystals freaking everywhere. I'm not gonna lie, like I have a lot. I love crystals. I love working with them. I love their energy. I just haven't had time. I want to make the time. That's what I want to do. And when do I turn to cards for answers? Oh, and what other tools do I use? Oh, normally I literally just use pen and paper. I don't use any other tools. Well, crystals. And my location at my desk. I'm very fortunate. I have a desk. I have a whole room dedicated to this. I am very fortunate and I don't take that for granted by no means. It allows me the space to create content as well for you guys. So my desk is multi-purpose. It's 100 things in one. And when do I turn to the cards for answers? I don't necessarily look to the cards for answers, not always. Sometimes, but not always. Sometimes I like to sit with it and then use the tarot to reflect on it. So, or maybe if I am feeling a little lost, I might pull one card and then see what it says. Sometimes it just says, deal with it. Tarot can be mean. But anyway, so do I look to the cards for answers? No, it's more a reflective and a mindfulness practice for me, for the most part. Sometimes predictive, but not always. I don't like to lean on too much of the foretelling predictive side of it, personally, myself. Okay, and now we're on to the YouTube / TarotTube portion of this reintroduction. And the first one is, what kind of content is your favorite to post and watch? So I love posting all about my decks. I love showing my decks. I like showing art bits as well, but view wise, they don't do as well as new decks in my collection or my deck collection or decks that I worked with. Everybody wants to see all the decks and thoughts and processes, which is totally fine. I get it. I love watching those as well, but I like hearing people sit down and chat and share viewpoints. So I definitely like kind of podcast style chatty videos. The reason I like that is sometimes I can prop it up and I can still work away, and you can listen. I love seeing people's journals. They're definitely one of my favorite videos to watch. And books. I love watching books. I have a few favorite YouTubers from all different genres that I love watching. And so I like to watch an eclectic mix. Sometimes I feel bad because there might be a couple of days where I don't watch stuff from TarotTube because I just want to watch something different. I think when you create the content and then you're consuming the content, it feels like it just becomes everything that you live and breathe. And we're so much more than just TarotTube creators. Anyway, so how did you get into creating a YouTube channel? Well, I've had this channel for a couple of years. I think it's just past its 6th year anniversary, early 6 years since I first uploaded. And if you didn't know, I originally started posting paranormal videos. I think I did one makeup video and I realized that wasn't for me. It was just a lot. So I originally started with doing paranormal videos here in Ireland, and I shortly stopped after a while, after a few weird occurrences, and I wasn't down for that. So if you want me to talk about that, I definitely cover it in a different video. It's very interesting. So yeah, that's how I started. And then I really loved watching TarotTube and I just wanted to be part of the community. So I was like, feck it, I'm just gonna create, I don't know what my first deck video was, but it was definitely around decks. I always felt because I only had a few that I couldn't do videos. So then I kind of slowly building my collection so that I could add to it. And then I started doing walkthroughs and things like that. And so now I have a substantial collection that I can talk about things a lot more. And the last one is knowing what you know now about YouTube, excuse me, / TarotTube. Is there anything you would do differently? I don't really think so. Maybe giving myself a lot more grace than I do. That's something you can still do differently. But would I do anything different? I probably would have started uploading sooner and not have let how little decks that I had influence me from uploading, and just the fear of putting myself out there, because like when you put yourself on the internet, it's scary because you know it's going to be there forever. There's no doubts about that. You have the fear of people from your town finding your videos. Now I have to say nobody has said anything to me. So, but I don't think there's anything I would personally do different or differently. I feel like I can always adapt and change as I see fit. So that would be my viewpoint on it. But for the most part, I would definitely say if you're ever thinking about doing it, just go do it. Don't overanalyze. I probably wouldn't have wasted as much time trying to get the perfect introduction. And I just post, because the first couple of videos, I still think some of my videos are absolutely rubbish, right? You're always going to have that. So just take the leap, right? And don't let how many or how little decks you have. If you want to create content on it, just go and create content. It's so much fun. And honestly, the community is just the best. I have made some amazing friends. I'm going to get super emotional here now, but like I've made some amazing friends from all over the world. It's just really nice. It's really nice to connect with so many wonderful people and like have people reach out and go, oh, I found your video, or I seen this, and or sending you memes and things like that, going, hey, I thought of you. Here, here's a funny video or something like that. I don't know. It's just, yeah. If you're ever thinking about joining, go do it. Don't let fear stop you, because you'll be missing out on a lot. Okay, I'm done being all sloppy and whatever that was. But yeah, that was like so super fun. I love these chatty videos. I have contemplated so long on like starting a podcast because I love chatting. I love chatting and I love hearing videos. It's so great because you can prop them up. But oh my God, I love chatty videos so much. I like sitting down chatting with you guys. It's really cool because you get to kind of, excuse me, know each other on like a more personal basis. I know you'll never know 100% creators and things like that. But yeah, that was so fun. So thank you so much to Sarah over Coyote Tarot. Again, go check her video out. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you part of the family here. And hit the thumbs up, the like button. Yeah. Because it helps my videos. And what's the other thing? I'm looking at myself and I'm like, what else do I say? Hit the bell so you'll be notified when I upload. And as always, have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And remember, stay magical and see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.